Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora and here I am to deliver the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of May 24th, 2021. Hello and welcome. I hope that you have had a great week. This week coming up is going to be very interesting, very interesting. There's a lot of information that needs to come through. I've got my notes today. I have my cards. So between the messages that I know I want to say and what's going to come through intuitively, I'm really excited to deliver this for you because there's so much going on and there's so much shifting energy and so much information that's coming through. So I'm just really excited to deliver this week. So I've been talking to a lot of people. There's been a lot of change. There's been a lot of upheaval, but it's more on the positive side. We're really being able to access these positive aspects of us and not dwell so much on the lower vibrational stuff. So it's very easy right now to access the higher consciousness energy, the frequency of higher consciousness. So you're able to receive the guidance and information from your internal guidance system versus our old way of living, which is looking outside for external validation, right? So there's this energy of really being supported with our own personal truths. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into on Wednesday. It's the 26th. We have our full moon. And it's going to be a lunar eclipse as well, or also known as a blood moon, and it will be in Sagittarius. So again, that's Wednesday 26th. We'll have our full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And the main theme for this moon is going to be embracing changes. So I'm just wanting to say that again so we can really let it settle into us that this week with this moon energy that is going to be blessing us, it's going to be really focusing on embracing change. Okay, this eclipse season is just beginning. This is going to be the first eclipse of many this year, and I think there's 4 or so. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure there's 4, 2 lunar, 2 solar. Again, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And what this eclipse, this lunar eclipse is activating is a 6-month window. So from now until November, we have this window that is very focused on long-term spiritual endeavors. Okay, so even if you're not spiritual, even if you just stumbled upon this video and you've never really thought much about it, this is the activation. So every day that you choose to tune into your astrology, to tune into your energy, to make sure that your your hygiene is clear, your energetic hygiene, so on and so forth, then you're more spiritual than you think, right? So really, I think people just awakening to their spirituality. That's really what's going on. And I think with the COVID stuff that's been going on, people are at this point of no return, basically, okay, this is just getting ridiculous. I don't understand. None of this makes sense. Nothing has made sense since the beginning. So basically, how am I going to move forward with this new information? So this is that embracing change. Okay, I have to surrender to what has happened, and how can I anchor in this new life that is being gifted to all of us through this transition, right? So how can I really use this time? So this will be 6 months. So from now until November, we will be in this long-term spiritual endeavor focus. Okay, and this can come up in many different ways, but in the sense of many small ways, but the big picture is going to be that you're focusing on all of us as a collective are focusing on our spiritual evolution and spiritual growth, because really, what else are we here to focus on, right? So everything else is kind of all encompassing within that umbrella, but it's just really about recognizing what spirituality really is and what it truly means, right? Okay, so I just want to go into this eclipse energy. So I've just written a few things down just to give you guys an idea of like what an eclipse, how an eclipse affects us and the energies that it offers. So I have speeds you up to your ultimate destiny. That there's chapters coming to an end. It evokes significant change. In order to come to terms with your fate, you must be willing to let go of what stands in the way of your higher purpose. Again, these are very spiritually advanced focuses. And then things may be eclipsed out of your life. For example, like a job or a relationship or some type of toxic energy that has been in your way, right? Like they just, boom, gone, because it's aligning us with our highest self, with our higher destiny, with our higher potential. So yeah, things are speeding up, things are ending, things are closing abruptly, a lot of change, and a lot of like truth, a lot of truth being spoken within our hearts, so that we're actually able to let go. So we can learn that lesson, we can integrate the lesson, and we can detach from that energy, that energetic signature that we've been recycling for a long time. So yeah, the lunar eclipse is a final endings, and it's time to move forward, intense and unexpected change and letting go, right? So that's the eclipse. And now this moon is in Sagittarius. So the energy that Sagittarius brings for us is like Sagittarius craves a life with freedom and without limits. Okay, so this is going to be our focus, of course, right? So it's like the eclipse brings the spirituality, the full moon brings this full manifestation power, and then Sagittarius of like this adventure seeking. So it's like it craves life with freedom and without limits. So that's what we're focusing on as a collective. How can we transition into this next phase of our evolution in a way that is sustainable, that is, all inclusive? So yeah, like this, it's cool just to see how all the energies tie in, right? So another energy that Sagittarius is bringing is breaking away from what is no longer serving us and seeking out experiences that expand our perspective of the world. So it's like, all right, I'm done with this bullshit that I've been living. I'm done with this, and I'm done with this, and I'm done with this, and I want to go experience this, and I want to experience that. And like this inner child activation is what I'm hearing right now. It's coming through with the Sagittarian moon. And so that's what's happening is like a child doesn't have that memory of pain as imprinted in them as we do as an adult, right? Meaning like, we'll forgive over and over and over again, forgive and forget, because, you're kids and you just hope for the best, right? And that's kind of the energy that like I'm picking up right now around like moving forward. It's just like we have that inner child energy of just like, whatever, it's okay, shit happens, like let's move forward. I just want to have fun and I want to experience the world, because we've all been cooped up for so long. So this energy is really inviting us to go even just local adventures, going to a nature spot that's close by, or traveling, just whatever. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but really just seeking out these experiences. This is what we're going to be feeling. And yeah, so I have adventure seeking, and then grounding into monotonous patterns to let go of old patterns. So actually anchoring into practices that can help you to let go of old patterns that aren't serving you. So for example, like making sure that you're eating properly, like actually getting joy in eating properly, actually getting joy through exercise, actually getting joy when you go out in nature and can, like joy. This is the goal, is joy, not so much like I gotta cut this out, and I have to purge this, and I have to do this, and like all these things. It's like, no, if we make our focus joy, those will fall away, right? So it's like ground into those monotonous patterns and really anchor in that frequency of gratitude and presence. And that's what's going to help for you to create these new patterns so that you can let go of the old ones. And the beautiful thing is with all this energy, we are supported at this time to move forward in this way, right? So it's going to be really amazing. A lot of really, really, really positive energy this week. Yeah, so that's a little bit on the eclipse, the Sagittarian energy, and the full moon, right? So So yeah, now that we got that, and again, I just want to repeat, like, intentions that are set on this lunar eclipse are lasting for 6 months, okay? So this is why we're focusing on long-term spiritual endeavors, because until November, we are in this energy of being supported of this new chapter, okay? So think about it like planting a seed, plant your intentions, and know that utilize these next 6 cycles of the moon in order to purify your intention, to purify your life. And actually, I have that right here. Where was it? It's okay, I'll get to there when I get to there, but you'll hear it. Okay, so let's see what other energies. So I have assisting others to raise their vibration. So, oh, yes. So basically, we're the way showers. If you're watching this video at this time, then, you know, you're most likely a leader. You're most likely here to hold space for people, to show them the path of spirituality, to show them the path of ascension, to show them the path of higher consciousness, right? So it's no surprise that you're here and that you're listening to this and that you're now being activated and being asked and being actually invited into assisting others to raise their vibration. Okay, now this doesn't have to mean that you need to go be a coach or you need to go get a job like this, but it's just really being conscious at all times that your power of raising the frequency of the environment that you're in. It's like being a product. Are you going to be the product of your environment? Or are you going to let the environment be a product of you? Right? So it's like taking that power back and really choosing to assist others to raise their vibration. Now, if you are thinking about starting a business or wanting to step into this role of being a spiritual teacher and a spiritual leader, or, you know, like whatever word you want to put on it, don't get caught up by the word spiritual. I just really mean raising consciousness, raising awareness. I mean, the other simple thing, like I saw it on this one YouTube video I was watching, this one girl was like, yeah, I'm here to help people be happy. You know, like it can be that simple. It doesn't need to be like, oh, you have to be all spiritual. No, it's like, be happy. I'm here to help people be happy. Like, you know, who's out there in the world that's full-time dedicating their life to helping people be happy? You know, like that's so beautiful and that's so magical. So just really choosing like something simple that you can really anchor in for humanity. And it comes in those monotonous patterns like that, really creating that foundation for yourself that you are supported in your environment, right? Okay, hold up. I'm getting hot in here. She toasty. It's like a sauna. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah, back to that real quick, because with people that are really like feeling the pull to be a leader, to be a way shower, we're really being invited into that, because I just got the download recently that, you know, like there's not that many of us here. You know, it feels like there is, because we're in the consciousness, right? So like if you're in the consciousness of spirituality or health or whatever it is, that's what you're going to see all the time. So then you have self-worth. Say you have self-worth problems and they're coming up like, oh, everybody's doing this. Oh, like this person's doing that. Like, okay, but in the scheme of things, not that many people are doing it. Like out of the 8 billion people on the planet, not that many people are dedicating their lives to assisting others to raise their vibration. Okay, so right then and there, like that could be your freaking tagline. Hey, I'm here to assist others to raise their vibration, you know, like, and that's a nice, beautiful, like plethora of things that you can provide for people in ways to benefit their life. You know, most people just need a space to be heard, to be seen, and to really process their stuff. And of course, you know, you want to make sure that you're able to support people through these really intense times in their life. But if you're not claiming to be like a trauma healer or like anything, like, hey, I'm here to help you be happy, you know, like that can be your focus, and that's your way that you bring, you anchor in these frequencies so that you're able to radiate that frequency for others. Okay, and I have genuine communication. Okay, so we're going to be having, so this has to do with the Gemini energy that we're in right now. So the sun is in Gemini, and we just left Taurus, so we were in very grounded energy, and now we're in Gemini, which is an air energy, and it's mental. It's very mental, but it's very playful, and it's very communicative and loving and supporting and multidimensional, right? So it's like really learning to tap into these aspects of ourselves this week, but also really this month, because we just entered into Gemini recently, right? So we still have a few more weeks in Gemini to really play with this communication with ourselves, with others. We're really going to be anchoring in our truth. And I also have spent time diving into what you love about yourself. Okay, so I was talking about doubt and assisting others to raise their vibration. Well, how am I supposed to help people raise their vibration, you know? And it's like spending time diving into what it is that you love about yourself. So sit in front of the mirror, have conversations. I saw this post the other day, and someone was saying, hey, if you're struggling getting over your ex, then look at a picture of yourself and fall in love with that. You know, and I always say to people, like, you're looking outside of yourself for what is right here, and you're only ever looking for you, right? So it's really about coming to terms with that and really saying, okay, you know what? I'm ready to love myself. I'm ready to deeply, radically accept every aspect of my being, so that I can feel love, so that I can feel supported, so that I can support myself and I can love myself. Because if I can't support myself and I can't love myself, then nobody can as well, right? So nobody will do it for you. So it's like really, 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 really deeply connecting to yourself around what you do love about yourself. And if it's like, whoa, like that's really hard. If it's really hard for you to sit there and love yourself, like look into your eyes in the mirror, and really connect with yourself, then I suggest it even more, because it's so powerful and it is uncomfortable at first, because we're not really taught to love ourselves. We're actually taught the complete opposite. So we're reprogramming a lot of programs that have limited us for a really long time, especially in this physical vessel that you're in, right? We're not even talking about lifetimes right now, but we're just talking about this lifetime of what you've been programmed in this lifetime on how to not love yourself, or how you're not enough, or how you're not good enough, or how you're too much, or how you're too sensitive, or how you're whatever. Okay, so this is really stepping into the perfection of you, the perfection of you. Yeah, cool. So higher mind, focusing on our higher mind, our higher self, and the big picture. So don't focus on the little things, focus on the whole picture. Okay, so this is going to be really, really important, because we are purging. We're purging, 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 purging. I know you've been hearing me say it for weeks if you've been watching, but this one, and I just explained to you what a lunar eclipse is, and in the videos I've been telling you that this lunar eclipse has been coming. Now we're here. Okay, so this is where the acceleration's starting. We thought we've been accelerating, you know, prior. Now it's like, holy shit, let's do it. And it's not just acceleration, it's flow. So it's like alignment. It's like, and this is why not focusing on the little things and focusing on the big picture can really help you to ground in where you're going, the direction that you're going. Because if we're getting focused on all the little things around us and confused and overwhelmed and how am I going to do this or how am I going to do that, then we will get trapped in that doubt, in that cycle, in that unworthiness, in whatever it is that is coming up for you, right? So it's like really anchoring into this higher self and the bigger picture. Big times of change, fast forward quick. Exactly. Yeah, already said that. And then gifts from the universe. So that's the other thing, when we're in this flow state and when we're in alignment and we're choosing, you know, to embody these aspects of ourselves that are healthy, and we're, you know, letting go of the aspects of ourselves that aren't serving us, we're able to receive gifts from the universe. And it's a time of abundance. That's really what it is. We're being showered with all this higher consciousness and all this energy. And so like really creating this peace, this safe space for you to come back to in your home and within your body. Okay, so receiving these gifts from the universe through really cultivating a sacred and safe space for you to relax and surrender. So I have for the highest good and forward movement, whole new perspectives coming in. And this is a highly emotional time. Okay, guys, this is very highly emotional. Ugh, my little heart's been busting open, but I've been speaking my truth and I've been standing in my power, and that's really what this is all about. And it's that forward movement and understanding that, like, if we're not going to speak up, nothing's going to change. You know, like, if we're not going to acknowledge that something's bothering us, then it's never going to change. You know, like, it's only ever going to drive you more and more crazy. Okay, how do I know this? Because I'm a human. Okay, and I've been there and I've done it. Okay, and I'm doing it, so I'm processing it, right? Just as well as all you guys. So yeah, this is kind of the energy that we're in right now around oh, I just had a brain fart. It's because I flipped the page, I swear. Now I'm looking at a whole new page. Anyway, on to the next page. Okay, so okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, so true purpose being revealed. So this time that we're in this week, we're going to be having immense clarity around our purpose, around our heart center, around what is good for us and what is not. It's like we won't even want to entertain the lower vibration, because that Sagittarian energy is bringing in this excitement, this adventure, this newness, like the Fool, right? So it's like really inviting us into this energy of renewal. But we will be tested. There will be tests put in place to purify our intentions and our direction. Okay? Because if it's not in the highest good, if you're not in flow, then there will be things that are going to come up that are going to stop the flow, that are going to stop you from flowing, because you're being redirected. Okay? So when things happen that aren't working for you, that aren't flowing, oh, okay, the universe is redirecting me. Why is the universe redirecting me? Why isn't this alignment? Is this in alignment? You know, start asking the questions, start really digging deep and understanding, why isn't this working? Right? So, like, because when things aren't working, when there's a block put in your way, it's actually a redirection, you know, like, it's not a roadblock, it's a redirection to you back to your integrity or to your truth or whatever it is that you're not in alignment with, right? So you're just being guided back into alignment through these tests, through the tribulations, things that feel like, oh my God, the world is against me. This is coming up to say, hey, look, you're not in alignment. Because guess what? If you were in alignment, then you would be flowing. You know, like, it really is that simple. And then we have solutions to overwhelm coming in, downloading massively, really quick, like instantaneous, because we won't feed into the overwhelm. We're going to detach. We're going to create a healthy boundary. We're going to say, okay, how can I do this in a way that I can focus on the big picture, not get caught up in the little details, and really move forward? So we will be receiving solutions to overwhelm. So trust that. Trust yourself, right? Ask yourself, what have I created, right? And back to Scorpio, something back then, one of my other videos, I was asked, we were really focusing on, like, what have we created? And so now we're being asked again, right? Like, we're asking ourselves, what have we created? And that could be, it's all up to what you've been choosing, right? If you say, what have I created? And it's a beautiful, magical masterpiece, then you're happy, you know. But if you're like, what the fuck have I created? You know, like, holy shit, like, how did I get here, you know? So this will show us where we need to do the work, right? So it's not like one straight answer. It's not like, oh, this is what we all need to do. This is how it works. It's like, no, we're all at such different stages in so many different ways that we have to go into our own innate wisdom in order to access what it is that we need next. Nobody's going to tell you, not me on this video, not any other video that you're going to watch, only you, only your internal guidance system. So this is why we're really being asked to anchor in these, the mundane, the monotonous, the practicality of this physical body, right? Really sustaining it and really making sure that it is being nourished and it's getting sleep and exercise and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, asking yourself, what have I created? There's also like this really big push for gatherings, especially because you know, we've all been locked up, and so we're ready. It was like, hey, summer's here, like we want to get out of the house. We've been cooped up all winter. Spring is sprung and we're ready to go, right? So it's like focusing on gathering and bringing people together, right? So like utilizing our outside space to our highest advantage, because I know we're not allowed to be inside. We're not allowed to, at least in Canada anyway, right? Like we're not allowed to have these events right now. So let's find the loopholes and let's put an event on outside and still find a way to get people together if they want to, you know, because we're not telling anyone they have to come to the event, but hey, this is kind of where we're at in the collective energy. Like we're ready to come back together. We're ready to commune. We're ready to celebrate. And so like bringing together these group projects, it could just be like a little open mic night at someone's house, or it can be a few bands playing, or it can be a few people that sell things and you have like a little pop-up house show, you know, like there's so much that we can do. And so like we're really being urged, and this is like that adventure energy, right? Like, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that. Like really start tapping into that creativity. And then when you ask yourself in 6 months, which is the end of this cycle that we're in, that we're just beginning, you can ask yourself, what have I created? And you can smile, you know. So it's really going to be an amazing thing to focus on. And that's why this bigger picture perspective is so big too. Okay, I did already mention this, but this is my next point. Seek safety. So ground into the mundane, the simple. So seek safety. This is the main thing, okay? And I found too, I just got the download the other day. I was like, oh, right. Okay, so we can have a physical safe space, okay? But if you have a physical safe space and you don't have a safe space internally, then it doesn't matter, right? Because you can be in that safe space, you can be safe, but if you don't feel safe, then that it doesn't matter. It's not doing what it needs, right? So there's this cultivation of a safe space within yourself. Okay, so it's like when you close your eyes and you connect to your body and you go within yourself, it's like, do you have a place to dwell? Or is it just a lot? You know, like, is it all the emotions and all the thoughts and all the anxieties and all the depressions and all the la 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 la? Or can you sit there and just be? Right? So I invite you to cultivate a practice that is allowing you to find that space within. I'm going to call it your 0 point energy, because that's your point of neutrality, where you're not feeling all over, but you're actually just able to be in that role of the observer. Okay, so that's seeking safety. Yes, beautiful, have an external environment, but really, 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 the safety is from your own psyche, from your own trauma. Create a safe space, heal from that, right? Really important right now, especially because shit's gonna hit the fan soon. I don't know why or what, but we've all been waiting for something, and we're entering into this energy. And it's funny, this eclipse is here because boom, it's gonna come with an explosion. It's here, we're here, right? This week we're here. After this week, like, it's gonna be one thing after the next, overflowing, like in a good positive way. But externally, they're still gonna have that energy, like on the collective level, all that shit that's purging right now is coming to the surface. So out there, it's gonna look like things are getting worse, but it's actually getting better because they're being revealed. Okay, and we can't heal things if we're not revealing them. We can't acknowledge our subconscious if we're not going to bring it to the conscious, right? So it's like, oh wow, that seems really bad, but at the end of the day, it's good that it's being revealed, right? Okay, so getting out of self, defecating thought patterns. Defecating? Does that mean? Anyway. Defeating, it says. Getting out of self-defeating thought patterns and relationships. So focusing on healthy lifestyle and purging outdating patterns. As I've said, this is going to be easy. It's not going to be hard because we know, we have the clarity. We've been fucking trying to clear the shit for so long. We're finally here. We made it. Congratulations. This is it. You made it. And if you don't let it go this time, it's fine. It's coming around again. Don't worry. But you know, the stuff that you know you're ready for, it's going to be easy. Okay? And if it's not easy, then it's not the time. And trust that. Okay, so seeing truth for the simplicity that is and seeing people for who they are. So there's this really, 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 really big truth meter coming online within us. So we're able to see the truth for the simplicity that it is and seeing people for who they truly are, right? So it's like no more projections, no more distractions, no more illusions. They don't hold the power like they do anymore. And we're receiving clarity around truth around everything, you know, every aspect of our lives. And then we're really being invited to look at reality versus perception, like what really happened or what is really going on versus what did you think was going on or how did you perceive what was going on, right? Like what story are you telling yourself? And then are you looking at it neutrally? Because if you have any emotional charge, then it's probably your perception of what happened. And if you don't have the emotional charge, then you're really seeing it for what it is, okay? So it's like focusing on our truth and allowing others to have theirs, okay? Because we're not always going to come to the same terms with people. We're not going to agree with people. We're going to have different beliefs. Like that's part of it, you know? So really allowing people to have their own truth and really honoring our truth, you know? And being okay with other people having their own truths, you know? How boring would it be if we all thought the same thing, right? And then judgmental energy is coming up as well, okay? So with this reality perception, there's a lot of judgment involved, right? Well, no, I'm not projecting. No, I'm not projecting. You're projecting, blah, 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 whatever. This is judgmental energy, okay? It's like this push-pull energy, like lose-lose situation is what I'm feeling. The negative side of having this judgmental energy is creating stories. The positive side of having this judgmental energy is seeing clearly, because you can judge a situation and not be attached, see it through a lens of neutrality, right? And you still are judging the situation. This is like a higher conscious judgment, right? In order for me to make decisions in my life, I have to judge. I have to know me. I have to know the situation. I have to know A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, whatever I need to know, but I need to judge it, right? You see how it's like a neutral word? So positive side, I have to judge in order to see clearly. Negative side, I'm creating all these stories and all this drama and from all this trauma that I still have. So it's like really bring awareness to this judgmental energy. It's not a bad thing, but it can definitely manifest in a negative way. Okay, rising above emotional tendencies. So as I already said, it's going to be a very emotional time. We're purging, we're cleansing, we're clearing, and we're choosing to rise above the emotions. So instead of reacting, we are responding. We're being responsible. We're thinking before we speak. We're being conscious in every moment with the situations that we have, because we know that we're ready to step into the next chapter of our life. So we don't have time for what we used to have time for. We don't have time to argue. We don't have time to sit there and explain everything to everybody, you know, like I'm good. I'm out the door. I'm already on to the next journey. I'm in Sagittarian energy. I don't want to sit in this shit. I want some new shit. Let's go. This Gemini energy's got us in our communication, in our flow, in our inner child. So it's like really tapping into that, into these emotions, into the joy, into the happiness. And as I already said previous, like really focusing on loving yourself and diving into what it is that you really love about yourself. And if that's really hard, as I said, you know, then that means you have to do it more. And I say it through experience, you know, it might sound a little harsh through the delivery, but I only say it because it's true, you know, like I've been there, so I get it. Okay, so yeah, rising above emotional tendencies. Looking at the structural integrity of your life. Yeah, mic drop, right? For real. So like what is working and what isn't working, you know, like creating exercises to not take care of self. Oh, excuses. Sorry, I was like exercises. So creating excuses to not take care of self, because you're focusing on the money in the bank or being comfortable or having a comfortable life. Where's your value? Basically, that was not written very well. Where is your value is what I'm trying to say, right? So it's like, stop creating excuses for why you're not taking care of yourself, because you're only causing more detriment to your own health, right? So it's like putting up the blindfolds and ignoring it and pretending like there's no problem is only going to create a bigger problem, right? So it's really like that really atrocious line that I just read to you is like, stop creating excuses to not take care of yourself, right? So it's like, for example, like, oh, I don't want to spend the money on a good pair of shoes, and then you wear shitty shoes and then you have your feet are hurting or your back starts hurting. It's like a ripple effect, right? Because you're not taking care of yourself, or you have a bed that isn't very comfortable, and so then you start having back issues, or you're not eating food that's nourishing your body because it's too expensive or whatever it is, you know, like make it work. We have money, we have resources. It's like, what are you doing with that? It all comes down to choice and being raw, real, and honest, right? And really choosing you. Yeah, so yeah, looking at the structural integrity of your life. So what's working and what's not? Are you safe? You know, are you living every day in a state of love, or are you living every day in a state of fear, stress, anxiety, depression? Probably the second choice, right? And so how can we reconfigure our life to align with our integrity? Well, how do we align with our integrity if we don't know our truth? If we don't know what we stand for? You know, that's step one. Like, what does integrity mean to you? What is truth to you? What is love to you? And really going into your belief systems and really anchoring in, like, yeah, this is what I believe. This is what I feel. And then when you get people asking you if you want the vaccine or if this or what your belief is on that or that, you're not just spitting out information that you heard here or there or anywhere. You're like, no, this is my truth because this is what I believe, because I've sat with myself and I really do genuinely know myself enough to know what I'm talking about, you know, instead of just regurgitating information, because a lot of us don't want to admit that we don't know something. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing something. Like, dude, there's so much that you don't know. It'd be silly to think that you know everything, right? So it's like, it's okay to not know. But it's just about saying, oh, I don't know. What does that mean? Can you explain that to me? Because I'm not quite sure what that means, right? It's like inviting in that learner, being that student, right? And really being a student of life. So yeah, looking at the structural integrity of your life and saying, is this working for me or is this not? And go from there. All right. So yeah, where are you compensating? Where are you compensating? And then reflection on where you've been and how far you've come and where you are going. So reflect on where you've been, how far you've come, where you're going, set your intentions. This Wednesday, okay? So this Wednesday we have that lunar full moon lunar eclipse, okay? So set your intentions, and we have the energy affects us 3 days before and 3 days after. So we actually have like a week window where we can work with this energy, but really like hone in on the day before, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and really use this eclipse energy to get it out. Purge, embrace the change, anchor into your practices, and really keep choosing yourself and choosing your mission. Like, what's your mission here? What's your purpose? You're receiving downloads. You're going to have so much information come through. So just really be receptive to that information coming through. I love it. I love speaking to you guys. I love sitting here and just letting it flow through me. It makes me so happy. So I'm just getting my cards ready here. I'm going to do 3 different decks. Yeah, just general collective cards here. So this first deck that I'm looking at is called the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. And I'm just going to clear the deck here and ask for any information that wants to come through. What cards want to come through for the collective here? My higher self to work through me, as well as anyone's higher self that's watching this video. Now, mind you, this is a timeless video, so if you need this reading or any of this information at any time, it doesn't have to be for this week or for this moon or whatever it is. It could just be where you're at in your phase. That's the beautiful thing about the universe and how she communicates with us, right? So yeah, so just trust that you're divinely guided to receive these messages, and know that your higher self has come to me right now during this shuffle so that we can pull the cards specifically for you. Okay, for all of the ones that are guided to this. So what do we need here? Okay, grace. First one is grace. So let me just sit with this. So when we choose grace, then we live in flow. That's what I just heard. When we choose grace, we live in flow. Okay, so when we choose that everything is happening for us, that everything is coming for us to give us the most amazing, beautiful life possible, even though it might not always seem that way. It's knowing, it's handling that with grace, and that's what brings us back into that flow state, okay? Really connecting to your heart and being grateful and full of gratitude. Like that slow is what I'm hearing. It's like bringing in that gentle, tender energy. Okay, awesome. And then we have ancestors here now. Mind you, it was reversed. So, oh, cool. This one instantly right away was healing, 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 healing. It was reversed, right? And I'm getting a pain right here. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know, but it's not comfortable. So healing, 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 healing. All right, guys, healing. And that's probably why grace came up too, right? Because healing through the trauma of our ancestors, okay? Like, you are not the victim of that anymore. You are choosing to rise above it. You are choosing to raise your consciousness, to raise your awareness so that we don't have to suffer anymore. And that's really what this grace card is all. That's so beautiful. They're saying your entire life is grace for humanity. We're so grateful that you're here to shift the denser frequencies, the lower frequencies, the traumas, like your ancestors are overflowing for you right now, and they look at you like you're just the most magnificent masterpiece in the world, because to them you are. Think about it when you have your newborn baby. I kind of want to cry right now because it's just emotional, like it's touching, right? Like when you have your newborn baby and like you just carried that and you're with your lover and you just manifested this consciousness into this reality, you know, like that moment of looking at the baby, like this is how they look at you in every moment of your life, you know, and it's like, bring that into your life, like remember that, like weave grace through, like think about everything that came before you so that you're able to be here, and just how magnificent it is, and just see the love and the purity in their eyes when they were looking at you as a little baby, you know. It's really, really beautiful when we can tap into these higher awarenesses. Okay, then we have discernment. Okay, and this was also reversed. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So with this, it's interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of us that are not connected with our blood family in this lifetime, and we've chosen to come in to learn the lessons, and unfortunately a lot of us are having to cut ties, are not able to actually have a healthy relationship. And it was just 44 on the clock there, right? So there's foundations, right? So that's confirmation. Like, a lot of us didn't have that solid foundation, and we've worked so hard to create it and to manifest it. And so it's like forgiving our ancestors, you know, forgiving them for they did not know, for they just lived the life that they lived. And now here you are being the chain breaker, breaking free. But discernment is really coming up around whether or not keeping these people in your life is serving you. You know, and I don't like to say it. I have really good connection with my family, but I have friends. I have worked with many people that just don't have that connection. And if it's not there, it's not there. You'll find it. You'll find it in somebody. You will find it in family, in true family. So that's what this discernment card is saying to me, like, true family is coming, but you have to let go and you have to use the discernment. And your ancestors that are passed, you know, like maybe not the ones that are here, but the ones that have passed, they're there with you, like cheering you on. Like, they think you're the most precious thing in the universe. So use your discernment when working with family in the physical, okay? Use your discernment. If it's not serving you, don't feel guilty. It's not your fault. You know, this is happening for you to help you grow and evolve, okay? Not to bring you down, not to keep you small, not to shut you up. Nice. And then we end with Sanctuary. And mind you, that one was reversed as well, right? So they were all reversed except for Grace. So Grace, that's what I'm talking about with this energy coming through. Like, there's this sense of ease. Like, there's this sense of ease woven through our life experiences right now. It's so good. So yeah, creating that sanctuary, like really create that space. And this is really the internal space to connect to yourself, your higher self, to hear yourself think, to know your truth, to really anchor in these frequencies, right? Awesome. And then surrender is on the bottom. Surrender. That was beautiful. So good. Okay, let's see. We'll do the archetype, the wild unknown archetypes. This is the other one that I'm doing. I think I just want a few out of this one. So even if they fall out, I just want two max. For this week for the collective. This week for the collective, I call on your higher self, my higher self, guides, angels, anybody that was here to guide us through. Okay, those ones, yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, cool. I just got two. Okay. So we have the animal. And we have the destroyer. Yeah. So I'm hearing Mother Nature with this, like how she is very destructive, you know, like the animal, our animalistic nature, and then destroyer, like they kind of go hand in hand, you know, when they're in that, when animals are in their attack mode or different modes, then they're destructive, right? Anything that comes in their path is gone. And this is really, I'm really getting that we're learning how to tame that, right? Like, it's interesting that we would get destroyer and the animal, right? Because it's like, in order for things to be created, they must be destroyed, right? So it's very interesting that the destroyer is with this, because to me, like, I see the animal as our animalistic, this like our physicality, right? Like, what makes us human is our meat suit, like our ego that keeps us locked into time and space reality, right? So it's like, that's our animalistic self. And so it's like the destroyer, oh, this is so beautiful. So in order for us to create, we have to destroy. So it's like we're destroying this aspect, the ego, not even destroying, it's a little bit extra, but that's just the word that came up. So we're actually integrating, right? Like, we're integrating this aspect, and we're raising the consciousness of this physical meat suit and ego so that it can elevate to our higher spiritual states. And in order for that to happen, then this is where the destruction comes in, and so everything has to crumble. You know, everything that we've ever known. We wake up one day and realize that everything we've ever been told is a complete fucking lie, and that we live in a society that really doesn't have the best interest in us and separates and divides us and keeps us all in little boxes, right? So like, yeah, like fuck me, man, like destroy that. That's what I'm getting. So like, let's take that out. Let's get that out of there, because it's taming our animal. Oh my God. It's taming our animal. So what happens when you lock a wild animal in a cage? They go batshit crazy. They go crazy because the animal is not supposed to be locked in a cage. We need our freedom. We need our liberation. We need our sovereignty, right? All these. So that's what is being created from this destruction of this animalistic self, right? It's like reclaiming, it's a paradox because everything's a paradox, right? So it's like we're reclaiming our true animal self and letting go of the aspects of self that are destructive, that have been destroying, but also double-sided coin there, where like in order for us to create a new, we have to destruct. That's beautiful. Cool. Oh, I love it right here. Just real quick, these two were right on the bottom of the deck, which was the mentor and the threshold, right? So it's like when you're on the threshold, that's when you know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So that's basically what that's saying to me. It's like when you're on the threshold, the mentor appears. That's so funny. I love it. All right, great. Sacred Rebels Oracle, and then I'm getting out of your hair. All right, so here's the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Let's just go one overall message for the week of May 24th. May 24th. I call in my higher self, anyone's higher self that is watching this, all guides, angels, beings that are here to serve 100% pure love and light. Please pick one card to sum up this week. Beautiful. Restore and replenish. Exactly. Because we're purging, guys. We're purging. Instantaneous purging. Clearing. That's amazing. So yeah, rest and restore. Restore and replenish. Let me just see real quick. Okay, you are in need of something so much deeper than rest. You need restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not necessarily come from lying about somewhere, taking a moment out of your day or evening activities. You are more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. You need some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, mind, and heart. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing the usual flow of energy through your being. You could stimulate this process by going to a different place, meeting different people, and taking different actions to what you would usually do. You can return to your regular routine in time, if it feels good for you. However, it is now time to move without pushing yourself beyond what is known, comfortable, and familiar. This oracle also comes as a message from the great loving guardian, which is life itself. You have been working so hard and have accomplished so much already. However, you often sell your accomplishments short and focus on how much more is yet to be done. Life is telling you that it is time to put down the paintbrush, the pen, the endless lists and thinking mind, and get into your body. Take the time to experience yourself in and of nature. Remember how to be. In doing so, even for a relatively short amount of time, you will feel more of yourself and ready for the next phase. You might be surprised what just a day or two of this can do for you. Restoration does not have to be a long and involved process, especially if it is attended to when needed. This oracle is also confirmation that you are in an important transition phase between one level experience and the next. If you feel as though you are treading water or in sort of a purgatory, somewhere between your old life and your new life, then this particularly applies to you. If you can't quite break into the level you are reaching for, have faith. You are just taking a breather between races. Soon you will have the power and energy you need to reach for the next level and succeed. If you've been considering a new endeavor or have recently started one, then this oracle brings a message of encouragement. Yes, this is a good step forward for you. You might be worried that you are taking on too much. You are encouraged to take time out to rest and rebalance yourself, but you are supported in your need for new and different experiences to refresh your spirit. You may let some of these new endeavors go once you have gained what you needed from them. However, they are useful for now. You were encouraged to trust yourself and to know that you are working consciously to meet your own needs, and this is healthy and good. The Oracle of Restore and Replenish also comes with guidance for your healing. If you have been under the weather, you will soon be well again. If you have been working on healing your mind, body, or soul, this oracle comes with assurance that what you are doing is working and bringing you benefit. Even if you are yet to experience the full extent of that benefit, continue with your work and know that you are indeed healing. Oh, yeah. Release for all of us. Okay, healing process. So imagine that you are floating in an ocean that has colors of turquoise to deep green and darkest, deepest blue. Notice what colors feel good. Enter and remain in that space for as long as you like. The water might be warm and sparkling, shallow and heated by the sun, or cool, deep, and mysterious. Allow it to be whatever feels good to you. When you are ready, open your eyes and break that routine of yourself. Or break that routine of yours. You will have completed your healing process. Okay, so this is not just any regular rest, okay? The deep restoration and replenishment. This is soul level healing going on right now, guys. So just be gentle with yourself. You have your whole life to become who you're meant to be, okay? You're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly who you are. So keep being you. Keep on the journey that you're on. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to listen. Remember to honor yourself. I'm sending you so much love. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing week. Enjoy the moon. Enjoy the lunar eclipse. Enjoy everything, all the transitions, all the purging. Weave grace throughout all of it. All right. I'm sending you guys so much love, and I will see you next week. Bye.